Oh boy, it's a letter from JoJo. I wonder what it could be. Oh. Oh. Fuck. Welcome back to the letter.
We need to get into it and figure out the names, and then we'll welcome him back. Alright, relationships. Alright, we have
Isabella, Hannah, Zach, Marianne, Rebecca, Ashton, Luke.
Luke is the wife of Hannah. I mean...
We're leaving this in. We're leaving this in now. Catching up to speed on the characters' names, it's like... I think we're good.
Well, he is kind of a bitch.
Alright, where's face cam? It's up here. I'm gonna hide this mouse up here.
Do you remember whenever we thought it was a good idea to put it in the bottom?
Yeah, it was a bad idea. Dude, it's all these types of games, it's like, where do we put the face cam? I don't know. Did we even have face cam?
Yeah, we did.
We did?
Because remember we jumped at the very first thing? The very first
Your memory is
scare.
solids! Alright. I make it to our office within 20 minutes of leaving my apartment, completely disheveled and out of breath. A feat if I take into account my usual travel time.
A feat?
A feat. A feature. Routine clamor, common to Briar Realty Corporation's Luxburn office, greets me as soon as my feet crosses the threshold. Paper rustling, telephones ringing at sporadic intervals, agents talking at varying volumes, staff moving about.
Hello, can you hear me?
See, where are my employees?
I'm so glad. There's voices, and I don't have to make voices, I can just narrate. It's a nice break from
Where
here.
the hell is my C? Where's
my seat? Where are my employees? Where are my employees?
Did you notice that he rhymes?
You're fired!
What the actual fuck, guys? Of all the times to disappear without notice.
He's not rhyming
My
anymore.
boss's words turned muffled as someone else closed the door to his office, likely the work of our HR manager. Yeah, that's kind of his job. Throughout the past weeks, he's been in a bad mood over a few employees who have failed. What the just with the watch?
Sorry.
With the beeps? I hear they're still trying to get a hold of them, but to no avail. The result is half their workload have been shifted to all available staff so as to not lose clients. You trying to beep it in my ear? Stop it. It's unprofessional. I'm trying to read. Not that I mind the extra work. If anything, it means I'll
You
have
don't mind
more
the
to
extra
Dude, you're interrupting me. I don't appreciate it. I'm trying to tell a story. You're making me lose all coherency. No one's gonna understand the story with you interrupting me. Not that I mind the extra work. If anything, it means I'll have more to send to my family back home. Although the rumors of a branch closure circulating because of this is indeed a bit worrisome. My bag barely touches the top of my table when Rose pulls me aside.
Here, I need you to help me with these papers. If you could also get these signed and photocopied before lunch today, that would be great.
That's smart. She's like, you better do it.
Before
You
lunch.
bitch.
Because of what you pulled
Also,
yesterday.
I don't know if I mentioned it in a video prior because we recorded like months ago. Why are all the female characters like super well endowed? Every female character. I was looking at the footage. Every one of them. I think except for Isabella. She's the only one. But like, just keep that in mind when you see other female characters. Like, yeah, that's really weird. It's like, what is this? One Piece? Just every character's an hourglass
Hourglass and Busty Top.
and melons. One after another, she thrusts a bunch of paperwork in my hands without explanation. A page flutters away from the top of the pile, and I lean down to pick it up, my eyes scanning the top of the page as I straighten. A purchase and sale agreement. Ooh, did the couple buy it?
They cut the deal.
Rose simply gestured a thumb in the direction of our visitor lounge when I tilt my head in question. There, seated on the sofa and looking completely out of place in the humbly decorated room, is the same couple from the day before. It is them, the Wrights.
Less.
Something. Shut the fuck up. Something bubbles up in my throat. Their presence in the office can only mean one thing.
They're buying it? We got a deal?
She swats at my hand, tugging her sleeve, although her eyes are alight with something akin to joy. She wants this sale to happen as much as I do, and now that it's here, the deal needs to be closed yet. Documents needs to be signed still, but the elation is there. Along with a foreboding feeling I can't quite pinpoint.
I had to do a little damage control, but they're already interested in acquiring the property, even before they attended the open house.
It seemed like they didn't care about anything Isabella did. They were like, yeah, we don't care, we're gonna buy it.
Yeah.
We're so gonna buy it.
Just give us the house. Like, we're gonna move in
I
next
mean,
week.
isn't it obvious? They already hired an interior designer. I've never seen a buyer as aggressive as Madame Wright. She didn't even try to negotiate a lower rate.
My question is, why the fuck do they want this house so bad?
One at a time, Rose. I can't process everything you're saying at once. What do you mean?
They're paying 15% higher than the listing price, as long as we get the paperwork done as soon as possible. I think if we allow it, they'll be paying up front, too.
Even with that urban legend?
Rose nods.
Oh. I was so sure we lost the sale after yesterday.
Don't look so surprised. We still have to conduct some last few checks before we completely hand it over to them.
Look, wait, did you start a timer? To make sure we were on track?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
That's what the watch.
So we don't go
beeping
another
was.
2.5 hours?
That's what the watch
Please.
beeping was.
I'll
Gotcha,
happily
gotcha.
do the paperwork duty, Rose. I'll even go to the land registry myself and make sure the property changes hands with every single legal blessing.
Don't we have better things to spend money on? I'd haggle it down to the lowest possible price if I were in their place, especially with the stories attached to it. Not that my opinion matters one bit here. We're just their agents who are going to receive the hefty commission after all, nothing more. Rose gives me a pat on the shoulder, signaling that she's heading back to them and an unspoken instruction for me to follow after I'm done. It doesn't take long for me to finish what work she left me. In fact, having her boss sign the agreement is the easiest, since it has put him in a better mood to the entire office's relief. Ma'am Hannah, I guess Madam. Ma'am is just short for Madam. Just saying Ma'am Hannah is just weird. Ma'am Hannah calls me over the moment she notices my presence at the lounge door.
Sounds like you're trying to say a ham.
Ma'am Ham. She welcomes me with a bright smile, her movements more open than what one would typically expect from a passing client to have.
Oh, Isabel! How are you feeling? You looked awfully dreadful yesterday.
Isabella, I'm fine now, ma'am. I appreciate your concern.
I don't understand why they can't get my name right. It's a fairly common name. It shouldn't be too hard to remember. Regardless, I hand them their copy of the agreement.
Wonderful. Your team works unbelievably fast.
Ma'am Hannah skims through each of them with a scrutinizing eye, checking every page for any inconsistencies and errors. Despite the unassuming impression she gives off, she appears fully aware of what to look for in the process contracts like these undergo. It is surprising, to be quite honest. I haven't pegged her for someone who is well versed in these things, yet here she is. She shows some of it to her husband, who responds with the same passive interest as if he's more than happy to leave everything to her. I can't tell him if it is purely because he believes she's capable enough, doesn't care about what they are buying, or he simply finds paperwork tedious. Apparently satisfied with what she's seen, Ma'am Hannah claps her hands together before extending it to us for a shake. Rose and I release the breath we've been holding, both of us more than happy to return the gesture.
That settles it then?
Are you really sure about this property, ma'am? We could easily find you a bigger one among our current listings. Something with a modern touch?
Something not haunted, perhaps? Rose shoots me a warning glance that clearly says, don't make a scene, we're almost there.
Of course. Why wouldn't I be? The house is absolutely perfect, isn't it, darling?
A helipad would still be a nice addition.
Yes, well, we'll get there eventually, love. As I was saying, if your partner had the documents yesterday, we would have bought it right there immediately. Shame she didn't have it.
Well, there's still a few necessary documents we need you to sign after, but we'll let you know once we have those finalized. We'll be handling the process for the rest, so don't worry about it, ma'am.
Within a week, I hope. We still have a housewarming party to plan, after all. You know how much thought to be put into those things.
There are servants for that, darling.
Jeez.
Love, Wouldn't it be better if we handle it ourselves? A personal touch of sorts. It is our housewarming party and our new home.
No more than a week, ma'am. Barring unexpected delay, of course. You can leave it to us.
Excellent.
Freaking
Well then,
smile,
I'll
Pierce.
leave you two to it.
The
It's been a
rose smile?
pleasure doing
Yeah,
business
Rose's
with you.
smile.
Oh, and before we forget,
She discreetly folds something into both her hands and winks, a finger raised to her lips demanding our silence.
I know both of you worked hard on getting us this beautiful mansion.
A lot of money.
Did I mention we reward our people generously?
Her sprite in here looks way different.
Looks evil almost. Like the.
This is. Ma'am, I can't accept this.
Don't you worry, darling. It's a small thing coming from us. Consider this your bonus for a job well done.
She smiles sweetly like this is simply the most normal thing to do in the world.
Oh, before I forget, my lovely interior designer would appreciate it if you hand her a copy of the floor plan as soon as possible. She's dying to work on the house.
Dying, you say.
You can do
That's
that,
not
yes?
implied or
Here's her
anything.
contact.
Interesting choice of words.
Certainly, ma'am. We'll have it processed as soon as possible.
I knew I could count on you, lovelies. I hope to see you two soon so we can get this closed.
Just like that, transaction over and done with. My mind's still reeling even after they've left. Other agents would kill to have clients like them. Part of me feels lucky about the fact no lengthy negotiations, no sudden change of minds, just talk, signatures, a few handshakes here and there, and we're done. The other part, a second ago we sold a haunted property to two innocent clients. Sure, the commission's big. Big enough to continue funding Papa's treatment and hospitalization, big enough to pay for all four of my younger siblings' schooling. Heck, it'll keep me away from instant noodle diet for months. I don't have to go back to the mansion as well. Once the deal has been closed, so much to my sanity's relief. But knowing that something's in there, and we gave it to the good couple despite that. Oh, Isabella, the things you do to sell a house and get money. Papa won't be happy with that. At least I have good news to tell him next time I call home. The little lie I told Mama this morning isn't a lie anymore.
Well, there's something. So how does it feel?
How does what feel?
Your first big multi-million-pound sale, silly. I know you've been with us for years, but this has got to be memorable for
Okay,
you.
she said pound. Are they in?
It's in, like, England.
Is it in England?
I think so.
Okay.
Notice how everyone seems to have a British accent.
Yeah.
Memorable is an understatement, Rose.
Come on, show some enthusiasm. They gave us a bonus, too. Aside from the commission and the other bonus boss promised. What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know. Send it home, probably?
All of it?
Not everything, of course. Most of it. I'll leave some for my living expenses.
Listen here, Isabella. I'll teach you something I should have told you before we ended your training.
She slings an arm over my shoulder and leans in closer to my ear, although she's about to share a big secret.
It's okay to celebrate from time to time.
I don't get it.
It's simple. Go out, do something for yourself. Throw a party and treat your friends to free food. Didn't you say the last one's some sort of tradition back at home for you? Hello, this is practically a done deal.
Isn't throwing a party a bit excessive?
Your call. I won't say no to an invitation, by the way, in case you really are planning to throw one. A few drinks would be nice too, thank you very much.
Maybe a new car. You could get your friend's new car. You can give me a new car.
I don't think my apartment's big enough for that.
You could always move? Bloody hell, you're working in real estate.
She makes a good point.
I think I'll pass. That's too much of an unnecessary expense for me. But I did promise Becca free lunch in case the sale goes well.
You go do that. Hold on a sec.
She sounded kind of upset that
Yeah.
she was not invited.
Wanted a free car. She quickly removes herself from me to answer the phone on her desk. Her tone shifts from playful to professional in the span of a few seconds.
Today? Not a problem, ma'am. I could bring you a copy of the contract if...
It's Hannah.
Must be another client. Nothing surprising there. She's one of BRC's top agents, no matter how modest she appears. A saleswoman through and through. I, on the other hand, have very little knack for it. Of course, I learned eventually. I had to. But someone else will, without a doubt, do a better job. Once, though, in a drunken stupor, Rose told me a story of what could have been. Years ago, wide-eyed, young, and brimming with yet-to-be-filled dreams and ambitions, she was a term or two away from a nursing degree. Out of courtesy, I never pressed on the matter further. But perhaps it's where the sense of fondness started. A small connection due to one similar experience in our respective lives, of goals we both let pass us by because of the circumstances we're in.
I'd be happy to discuss this over tea, ma'am. All right, I'll be there. Thank you.
New client?
Reassigned. Have you heard from Mark at all?
Not since the first visit to the mansion. Why? No news from the HR yet?
None at all. Boss thinks he ran away. I doubt it, though. He's too much of a wimp for that. There must be another reason. Who knows? Anyway, I've got to meet this one. I'll see you later.
She throws a wave over her shoulder as she rushes out of the office. The lunchtime bell sounds shortly after, followed by the chatter of fellow agents also heading out for a much-needed break. Ordinarily, there's no need for me to go out, but oversleeping didn't allow me the luxury of packing my lunch today, if one considers taking an instant noodle cut from my pantry packing her lunch. Time to make good on the promise I made to Becca, I suppose. Maybe invite Zach and Ash too? In the end, only Becca and Zach could come. Ash, on the other hand, couldn't be reached. All my calls went straight to his voicemail. He's at it again, right here today, gone the next day. Oh well, his loss. We have agreed to meet at a nearby cafe, the same one I frequent with Becca because it's cheap and they give away free bread around closing time. Quaint, a little old-fashioned, though looks a wee bit out of place amidst the city's tall buildings, but we love it all the same. Much like its facade, the interior carries a antiquated charm to it.
Antiquated.
Vintage art pieces and a row of shelving boasting an extensive collection of books cover the walls. It would have been nice to hang out here for hours on end, but even on a weekend the place is still packed with people. Thankfully, Becca and Zach have already found seats and are engaged in some casual chatter when I arrive. It's strange seeing the two of them without Ash accompanying the other. They've never been particularly close. Sure, they talk when they meet, laugh at the same things when something's funny, but there's distance. The kind born purely out of differing interests. That or Zach's simply afraid of Becca. It's not impossible and I won't blame him if he is. He might be the tallest in our group, but if everyone knows that it means nothing against Becca's temper. Even I'm a little scared of her.
Zach! Becca!
Well, you seem to be in a better mood today. What happened? I know that smile, Belle. Come on, still.
Don't rush me. Let's order food first, okay?
The waitress comes by to take our order. On a normal day, me and Becca will order a hearty serving of their special vegetarian stovies. Zach takes anything with a good helping of meat, sausages, or potatoes in it. Today's a good day. Great, even. It's not wrong to indulge a little, right?
Today's special. For the three of us.
Oh. Even the person jotting down our order looks surprised at today's meal's choice. She writes it nevertheless and leaves it without a comment. Becca furrows her eyebrows, her mouth halfway open, ready to let loose what's likely a string of reprimands.
Don't worry. It's my treat.
The glare she sends my way reminds me of the one I received from Mama when I punched a kid bullying my younger brother 18 years ago. I'll never forget that day. Naturally, I never did it again after she made me apologize the next day. But Becca's far from being my mom. But not that far. A small sheepish grin is enough to turn that frown into a defeated sigh. Food arrives in the middle of a funny story from Zach, putting the rest of the conversation on hold as we each served our order. It isn't anything fancy. Just pan-roasted sea bass with citrus dressed asparagus and a portion of mashed potatoes on the side. Or at least that's what the daily special bird says. I never did pay attention to whenever I come here, since they priced whatever is written way above what I'm willing to spend on food on a single day.
Oh, good. I'm so hungry, I think I'm dying.
You're always hungry.
Hey! Not all the time.
Let me guess. You skipped breakfast again.
Not on purpose. I may have overslept by a few seconds today.
Right then. Stop stalling, Isabella. What's this about?
Let us say it, Rebecca. She wouldn't be inviting us out if it wasn't worth hearing out.
Well, we're waiting.
I'm treating you guys to a once-in-a-century thing.
Specifically a century. An expectant grin breaks out on my face, except
I'm sorry, say that again.
And this is important because...
Beck only raises an eyebrow at me while Zach appears like he didn't get the punchline to another lame joke Ash made and is desperately searching for someone to explain it. Oh, bummer. Maybe I should rephrase it. Ash is not here, so we should celebrate. My instant noodle days are over. So, do we make a joke that we're no longer poor, or make a joke at Ash's expense? What should we do?
I say we actually go down the right path.
Yeah,
Of the mind.
I feel like making a joke at Ash's expense seems like really out there, and she wouldn't rephrase that into let's make fun of Ash and not the real reason we're here. Okay, real reason.
Okay, let me do that again.
Relation status is updated.
Wait, why did?
What?
Oh,
Oh no, wait, they went up. They went up. It says plus.
Oh, okay.
Because we our
This is our starting
that's
point.
the starting point.
Okay.
It was further down.
Yeah.
Okay, but we've improved both of them. We made the right choice.
I feel like it would have went down on both of them
Yeah.
if we would have.
Or at least down on Becca.
Yeah.
I feel like Ash would have enjoyed that joke.
You mean Zach?
Yes.
Guess what, guys? I'm paying! I sold the house!
As the news sinks in, their expression goes from sheer bewilderment to utter surprise. That's more like it.
You heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. As of today, I, Maria Isabella Grace Cruz Santos, am free from my instant noodle binge.
Get through that whole name there. Dang, that's a long name.
What was the one guy, the bellhop's name from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody? The one that like his name goes on for like 15
Oh
seconds.
my god, I don't remember. It's been years since I've watched that show.
Best character. Best character.
Seriously?
Hold it, Belle. You sold the house?
Yep.
Which house is this? In Anslem Village? The one with the open house yesterday?
The one and only. Come on, Becca. I know you've got a better memory than that.
Oh, wow. That's...
She lets out a hum, although she's nodding. She gives the impression of someone who has heard something unbelievable and is still forcing her brain to absorb it. Did she think we wouldn't be able to sell it? Have some faith in me, Becca. Am I not your best friend or what?
You don't believe me?
The words tumble out of my mouth before I could stop them. I've been trying to avoid bringing up yesterday's little spat, and judging from the looks on their faces, it seems they are too. Me and my stupid mouth.
I'm sure it ain't the way you're thinking, Bella.
No, I do believe you. But don't you think the sale happened a bit too fast? The open house only started yesterday, and now you already have a buyer?
It happens from time to time.
Yeah, but... Look, I'm happy for you. Just yesterday, you've been really worried where to get money for your dad's new treatment. And now, all of a sudden, you have something. What if the sale doesn't push through, or I don't know, they're a fraud, or they suddenly back out? Isn't it a little too early to celebrate?
Rebecca does have a point, Bella. If you haven't closed the deal yet, there's still a chance they'll go back on it.
They don't seem like it to me. The lady appeared to really want it, and she approached me without even finishing the tour.
Pressured me into it, like. But I'm not going to tell Becca about that, knowing her she'd only worry.
And she already hired someone to handle the house's interior design.
You're joking. Who would do that?
The Wrights, apparently. It's actually pretty funny. She's a bit too excited to get the property, she forgot to buy it. At any rate, they've already signed the agreement today, so it's just a matter of time. And don't tell anyone about this, but Ma'am Hannah also gave us something extra.
Something as in...
Ooh-la!
As in, it's why I can treat you two to a free meal.
I'm more surprised you accepted it.
She didn't really give us a choice in the matter. So don't lose sleep over this, okay? The couple really want the house. If Rose didn't stop them, they'd likely have paid up front for it yesterday. That's despite the legends, too. I even tried to show them the letter. But nope. I want this house, darling. Go take all our money.
Oh
You don't really think they believe that, do you? I'm pretty sure
gonna
for
be
them,
in
those are
there.
just rumors as well. No one is that superstitious in this day and age, Belle. Well, there's you.
Right. You know what? I'll just eat all of these by myself.
I begin to gather their plates to my side, the food in each still untouched. A laugh almost escapes my mouth at the way Zach's expression quickly changes to disappointment. Becca's hand interrupts me just as I'm about to pull her plate close to me.
I'm kidding. Don't go all pouty on me again. I'm just concerned you'll get hurt if this doesn't happen. I know how badly you want to close this deal for your papa.
I'm sure he's gonna be fine now, though, with the money. They don't know yet. I think I'll call them tomorrow. Let them know things will be easier. Mama said this morning he's showing progress with the new treatment, too. It's just a matter of time.
I allow myself to smile, genuine and uninhibited. It's strange talking about this with the people, even though those who have known you long enough. Today, things simply feel a lot lighter with them here. Lunch passes in an enjoyable fashion. A laugh here, a playful jab there, but most of it is spent on catching up and telling stories about whatever's keeping us busy these days. Something we couldn't afford to do the day before, taking into account what happened. Even Becca's surprisingly chatty. Is there something in the sea bass we ate? Zach, though, appears less energetic. While he's far from being the life of the party, he's definitely not the type to keep quiet in conversation with his friends. Apart from a few inputs, he's been silent the entire time. If Becca notices.
Are you sure you're not feeling under the weather, Zachary?
Huh? No, I'm okay. No worries, Rebecca.
Doesn't sound okay to me.
It's okay. I might be feeling a little bummed out today, but I'm sure this will pass.
Is it about the reviews this morning?
A pained expression crosses Zach's face, and almost immediately, Becca retreats in her inquiry, as though the man's look is enough of an answer for her. I look between the two of them. Did I miss something? What happened this morning? Did I stumble on a big secret? This is why I don't like waking up late.
You heard about those, huh?
Sorry, I just happened to check on some sites this morning.
Nah, it's a very sensitive topic in the first place. I should have expected it.
What reviews?
Becca glances at Zach, her motions unsure, eyes asking for his consent on the matter. Although there's a small desire to keep asking on my part, I don't dare voice it out. With Zach, it has always been better to wait, let him speak on his own. Becca too, to some extent, although with her explosions of temper are more common. In the end, he simply answers with a shift of his shoulders, gesturing for her to go on with a tilt of his
It's
head.
his movie.
That doesn't explain anything. Stop dangling the information, Becca!
Zachary, I'm not the one supposed to be telling her about this. It's still your documentary.
Is it something bad?
Not bad per se. You guys don't need to dwell on it much.
Bad? Listen here. I wouldn't trivialize what those bowheads wrote if I were you. They're ruining other people's jobs.
From how her tone rises in anger, it seems like she's the one slighted and not Zach. A snicker escapes me, which I promptly stamp down as soon as she sends me a hard look.
This isn't a laughing matter, Isabella. Some bowbag just insulted him.
Calm down, Rebecca. Those are just reviews, and it happens a lot.
I do not ken about you two, but calling the entire film an out-and-out drivel, you're better off watching an educational kids' TV show, and worst 1.5 hour of my life, among other things, isn't exactly a critique any decent movie reviewer would say. If you could call that a critique, did we even watch the same film?
Well, maybe I ain't cut out for it. Better stick with my photography or something. If nothing else, this helped me open my eyes to what I can and can't do.
You're giving up.
It wasn't a question.
It was just something experimental I did on my free time anyway. It's no big deal.
But you worked on it for months.
Doesn't look like it matters for those people.
Don't say that!
My palm strikes the table, sending the tableware on top clinking against each other. I didn't even notice when I rose from my seat. But here I am, just heaving, looking down at him in the same manner a teacher would at any unruly student. Becca's probably proud. Didn't mean to yell, but there's some things people like Zach aren't supposed to say. How exasperating. He of all people should know.
It's just a review.
Except they're pretty well-known critics.
Why does that matter? They aren't the ones calling the shots on this. Isn't that why they have a committee? Right, Becca?
An amused gleam is in her eyes when I turn to her. What does she find so entertaining here? Help me here, your friend's about to quit his passion for a petty reason. I haven't read what those people wrote about his work, but a few scratching words shouldn't be enough to discourage someone. I should know, after all, I'm...
Failing means you're playing, Zach. Not that I'm saying it's bad. I've seen it from start to finish, and I know for myself what you created isn't something people should scoff at. I don't know anything about filming or photography. Hell, I don't have an inkling of artistry in me except for those doodles I make for class. But I know what I watched. Look at Isabella. It's not every day you see her all riled up like this.
Whatever I'm about to say gets lost in my tongue as a flush of embarrassment blooms across my face.
It was a heat of the moment thing. And anyway, I'll be very angry with you if you quit. What about the exhibit?
What exhibit?
Classified information.
Even if I bring you your favorite tonight?
Nope, not a chance.
Oh, come on! I thought we aren't supposed to have secrets.
A burst of laughter comes from Zach.
Thanks, you two. I might need some time alone to myself for a while. Just to think about things, how I'll go from here, that sort of stuff. Hey, I'm not quitting, Bella. Don't give me that face.
There's no face at all, only a poor imitation of puppy dog eyes, if you could call this one.
Promise?
I'll be damned if I break any promise I make to you guys. Besides, you're right. It's too early to say anything right now. Once night ain't for another week.
And that's all the answer I need from him. As sentimental as it sounds, there's fulfillment in knowing another person you know won't take the same path you've walked. It's not like it's over for me, though. I still have time. I could still come back. Do my own thing. Do what I really want to do. Surely once Papa recovers, once I'm done with everything. Inside my bag, my phone buzzes unexpectedly, breaking the pleasant afternoon lull. Screen shows Rose.
Hey, Isabel. You at the office?
Ha ha. Very funny, Rose. I'm hanging up.
Don't, I'm kidding. BRC says the floor plan copies are ready for Miss McCullough to pick up.
She states that as if it already explains everything. Then, out of the blue, she launches a long rant about the awful state of Luxburton's streets. All of which she says in a single breath that I can barely keep up out of a single word. I stay quiet, if only to avoid becoming the next object of her frustration. She's similar to Becca in that regard.
I'm stuck in horrendous traffic right now. Bloody stupid drivers.
When she has finally ran out of things to complain about and stops, what she says next still has none of what I'm hoping to hear from her. Just a quick mumbled plea for me to meet the Wrights interior designer in her stead and...
Anyway, I'll leave it to you. Bye. Thanks.
Oh no. We're going back to the house.
Classic Rose. She ends the call without even asking for my input. Got the giant update. Oh yeah, we didn't check the other updates.
Yeah, we did.
Is this it?
There's the 26th and the 27th and the 28th.
We're not that far.
Yeah. We're only to right here.
This is as far as we are.
Right. That's just re-describing what she has to do.
How much time we got?
31 minutes.
31? You think we should stick to 30? Like around 30, or do we go?
That's fine.
Because that's the end of a scene.
Yeah.
We don't know how long the next. So I think that's a good stopping point.
All right.
It's a nice. I like the characters a lot. I really do like these characters.
Like you like.
I like the
design?
band. I know. I like the band. I like their personalities and their bands.
I love how they communicate with each other and how it's told from one person's perspective right now. I don't know what the other chapters are gonna do, but
okay.
I like how it's told from one person's point of view right now. What? What? What?
This is just interesting.
What's interesting? My input on it?
I like how it's told from a character's point of view. It's fascinating.
I hate you. You know, I don't know why I put up with your shit. Like, just kidding.
That shit's fabulous.
It's a mountain of shit.
Marbled.
Oh god, that would hurt.
No, I marbled. It's marbled after the fact. After the drop. It drops and then it just like marbles itself.
Drop the shit. Wow. We will see you guys next
next
time
video.
in the letter.
How do I say?
How do I say?
Bye bye.
Wait, why are there so many save slots?
So you can back out on your choices. Like, fuck, going back. Wait, should I go left to right or up to down?
Are we saving every time?
Yeah.
Okay.
What
Left
if,
to right.
what if something happens? Nah, it's too late. I say up to down.
Why did you? Why is there a hospital in the back? Or is that a church?
Why isn't there? That's a hospital.
No, that's church. The cross.
It's a red cross.
No, it's not.
That's a hospital.
Look,
You're stupid.
you're stupid. The top part is shorter than the bottom part.
That's just perspective.
No, it's not.
It's perspective. Trust me, that's a hospital. That's a fuck. That what church looks like that?
You ever been to a church that looks like that?
Shut up. That's a hospital. There's no questioning it. That's a hospital.
No, that's church. Remember?
You're just
Zach-
you're arguing
Zach-
me. You're arguing with me for the point of arguing with me. For the sake of arguing with me.
Zach wanted to go to the priest. There's the church. This is
We're
London.
done. We're done here.
You've never been to a church in London.
We're done here.
How do you know that's not a church in London?
Everyone knows you're wrong and stupid and ugly and Joey.
Whatever.
You're Joey.
That's a church.
You're so Joey right now.